Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a critical report to share with you guys specifically in regards to China and how they have been invading and taking over our policies here in America. And I've been screaming about it for a number of years. But what I'm about to show you is a video report by Tucker Carlson, who reveals a source from China who is now making the statement that they have, as in the Communist Party of China, has people in the inner upper circles in the United States of America, basically an invasion from within. This is possibly why many of our policies have been going socialist, communist over the past couple of years. And I've got so much to show you. But before I dive into the report, I want to give a quick shout out to my partner here at fighterflare.com. Now, if you guys haven't seen this flashlight, I want to encourage you guys to check it out because this thing is a lifesaver if you get in, well, a terrible situation. But it's got a wire cutter. It's got a window breaker here. It's got amazing bright separate settings, and it's even got that setting there. It's powered by the sun. It doesn't need batteries, but it also has a light at the bottom that you can literally light things with, and you can see that there. But this thing is amazing, and right now, get it for 20% off using the code HAVEN20. So check it out at fighterflare.com. All right, so let's move on to what's going on, and let's start first with this Tucker Carlson report here, and it's titled on foxnews.com. Tucker Carlson, our elites' collusion with China is real and it is widespread. Here's why our political class stood by as China degraded America and our way of life. Many of them are on the take. Now, here's the video report in which he talks about footage that has surfaced out of China. But let him tell you a little bit about that. Take a listen.
The man you're about to see speak is a professor from Beijing called Dongcheng. The video comes from an appearance that he made on a Chinese television show about Wall Street and international trade. Dongcheng works at Renmin University in Beijing. He is also, like so many in academia in China, a servant of his country's government. This video was deleted from Chinese social media soon after being uploaded, and there's a reason for that,
as you're about to see. So what I'm about to show you, and I want you to really hone in on what he's saying here, because this video footage basically says how, well, the elites are colluding with China. And I'm not going to overstate his words. If you need to pause it because he's going too fast, go ahead and do that. But take a listen to this clip here.
前边特朗普政府跟我们打贸易战，那么我们为什么搞不定特朗普政府？啊？为什么以前1992年到2016年之间，中美之间各种问题都能搞得定？是不是？大家发现没有？所有的危机，不管是银河号事件，还是炸大使馆，还是撞了飞机，所有事情全部是床头吵架床尾和，2个月之内搞定。什么原因？啊，这儿我抛出一个可能又要是暴论了，就是因为咱们上边有人。就是我们在美国的权势核心圈啊，我们有我们的老朋友。
So they have people at the top of America's core inner circles. That's downright terrifying coming out of communist China. And let me just reiterate those words that he said, because I think they're very powerful, and they re-quote him down here. We have people at the top of America's core inner circle of power and influence. And what's interesting, if you play that video a little bit further, he goes on, the same guy goes on in a little bit more detail, and he expands. And here's what he says here, and I'm really going to kind of just skip to a part, but basically he says that for the past 30 years, they've had power in the US, and it goes on how Wall Street was very involved in everything, but there was a problem after that, right? And more importantly, after 2016, what happened in 2016? We had President Trump come to power in the US. Okay. Wall Street couldn't be fixed because of Trump. Why? It's very awkward. Trump had a previous soft default issue with Wall Street, so there was a conflict between them, which means Trump was on our side fighting Wall Street because they conflicted, right? But they won't go into details. I may not have enough time. So during the US-China trade war, Wall Street tried to help, and I know that my friends on the US side told me that that they tried to help, but they couldn't do much. And by the way, it goes on to expand how things should be better under Biden. I mean, this is the radical nature of what's going on. And here's the part on Biden. But when Biden was elected, the traditional elite, the political elite, the establishment, they are very close to Wall Street. So here's an admission out of China saying Trump caused us trouble, but Biden's going to be good for us because, you know, we've got people in the inner circles in the United States of America. We have to remember what kind of country China is with their Communist Party infiltration. And I'm going to get into that, but let me just show you what's going on right here at home in the U.S. Here we have Governor Kemp, and this is on GellerReport.com. Governor Brian Kemp in front of a communist flag promoting China. This is our politics in the U.S. Here we have Peter Navarro accusing Democrats and the Chinese Communist Party of being in cahoots in our election. This is on FoxNews.com. Then we have also on FoxNews.com, Ratcliffe urges Biden to be honest about China's threat, which kind of hints that Ratcliffe thinks he's not being honest, that Biden is not being honest. To call it out means there's something going on, right? And he warns against politicizing intelligence. He says that China is the greatest national security threat we face. And I don't disagree with him there. Pay attention to what Tucker Carlson just said. And stuff like this should send chills down our spine. So what exactly is going on in China right now? And what's going on? Well, here we have Zero Hedge, and we know what's going on between Hong Kong and China. We have Hong Kong arrest 8 more pro-democracy activists as opposition crackdown intensifies. Here we have Time.com. Hong Kong democracy activist Joshua Wong goes to prison, vowing that his fight will continue. And this is all at the behest of China. Keep in mind, China is attempting to call the shots there in Hong Kong. Here's another one. China forcing, okay, like I said, China's forcing Hong Kong's hand. China forces Hong Kong political prisoners onto buses for re-education camps. And here's them here. And I'm going to turn this video down here, but you can see these people, you know, saying farewell to who knows if they're even going to see these political prisoners again being sent to their re-education camps. You know, these re-education camps that MSNBC and ABC and a lot of them don't bring up, but in an op-ed somewhere, or they kind of bring it up, but push it under the rug. This is very sad stuff. But how about this? This is on NBC News of all things. China has done human testing to create biological enhanced super soldiers. So this is a country that's enhancing their soldiers, messing with human DNA that quite frankly they shouldn't be messing with. Then we have here on abc.net, China uses social credit surveillance system to ban millions from buying planes and tickets. Then we have theguardian.com. China bans 23 million from buying travel tickets as part of their social credit core system. Over in China, everyday citizens are told if you jaywalk, if you speak bad about the communist government, if you spread false information, and Lord only knows the definition of false information in communist countries, or if you get a ticket, or if you fill in the blank, then your social credit score goes down, preventing you from the ability to send your kids to good colleges and schools, from being able to buy travel tickets and planes and buses, being able to, well, go on good dating apps and get the better women. This is what they're doing, and this is what happens under a communist-style, technologically advanced civilization. This is the country that Ratcliffe, right, is urging Biden to be honest about, because that means that Biden is likely not being honest. Meanwhile, people in communist China are suffering, being judged by a credit score, and that's not all that they're being judged by. We have Uyghurs, Muslims in re-education camps, forced to eat pork, and everybody knows the rule with Muslims and pork, right? This isn't okay. On Fridays, as China pushes to expand pig farms in Xinjiang. Sheesh, this is on HindusTimes.com. There are Uyghur Muslims, Falun Gong, and Christians and political prisoners going to these re-education camps, and they are forcing them to do ungodly things. Again, can we be honest? Not to mention, right, we also have China, right? Expanding their re-education camps, says reports. This is on Bloomberg. Then we have theguardian.com. China has built 380 internment camps in Xi Jinping study finds. And that's as September 2020. They're still building these re-education camps. And nobody really is aware of what's really going on in these camps. But people have been reported not to come back. I think we need to take very serious these warnings, right, that Tucker Carlson is warning about in this video here, how our elites are colluding with China. It's a real problem in the US. We have issues. When you're telling me, according to this video report that surfaced out of China that is now banned in China, right? When you're telling me that people in our inner circles here in the US have been infiltrated, I have issues with that. Right? And we already know, and here's a Wall Street Journal, that China is doing everything in their power to take over international organizations one vote at a time, including organizations like the United Nations and the World Economic Forum. Want more information on what's going on? You need to get on over to restrictedrepublic.com. That's all I can say. I've reported meticulously on a lot of the dealings over in China. And right now, as a special to all of you, if you use the code 20, the number 20 and the word off, you can get $20 off an entire first year of service. This is an amazing, amazing offer that we have, and that's for just the yearly, but we also have a monthly subscription available. And either way you do it, you get a 14-day free trial. So check that out at restrictedrepublic.com. But with that, in a nutshell, I think we have to start paying attention to the dealings and what's going on with China. I have been screaming and warning about it for years because I don't know about you. I don't want to be some political prisoner taken to a camp. I don't want some Muslim here in America or some Falun Gong believer or some Christian to be rounded up and taken to a camp. People have the right to believe whatever they want to believe with regard to their religion. Nobody has a right to tell you what you can and can't believe. I don't agree with what Muslims believe, but I agree with their ability to believe that, their ability to follow that. Same with every other religion under the sun. I don't agree with what Jews believe, but I agree with their ability to practice that. I may not agree with everything that Christians agree with, depending on what part of it, but I agree with their ability. That's the freedom that we have as a country, of freedom of religion, and nobody should be dragged and taken to any kind of camp for re-education. I, for one, stand on the side of freedom for everyone, equality and freedom for all, right? But this isn't what China is practicing. That's why it's downright terrifying. And they're even crossing the line by saying, if you speak against the government, we're going to mess with your social score. And then you can't do certain things. And it seems like we're headed in that direction right now with everything that's going on with the vaccine talks and the mandates and regulations that are being forced on us on a daily basis. Anyhow, I love all of you. I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.